See, it says here, feel free to ring the bell if you enjoyed our food and service. Okay, there's the bell there, see? Hi, you're watching Greg's Big Eats and we're at Golden Mile Food Centre to order from Haji Kadir Food Chains Private Limited. And the dish we're eating is SUP TULANG. So it is thanks to this stall that we have the gutsy local dish of SUP TULANG Merah, which is essentially a thick mutton bone stew served with baguette slices on the side. Invented in Singapore and associated with the Indian Muslim community here, the dish is believed to have originated in the 1950s by a hawker named Kadir. The store was situated along Jalan Sultan, and the story goes that mutton bones were used for the stock for his mikwa, noodles in thick mutton broth gravy. And at the request of a regular patron, a taxi driver apparently, he wanted mutton bones and the gravy to be served as a side dish. The dish was later refined by Abdul's son, M. Baruddin, who made the dish into a fiery stew made with chilies, tomatoes, mutton stock, and he served it with French loaf slices. First sold at Haji Kadir Food Chains in Golden Mile Food Centre, SUP TULANG is now replicated in various Indian Muslim stalls in Singapore. So come, let's have a taste. SUP TULANG.
Tulang. Stick.
Yes.
Having here.
Plus one, a French loaf.
French loaf, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, how much?
$14 total. 6 is $12.
$12, okay.
Plus the bread, French loaf, $2.
Oh, got it. Thanks very much, huh? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seems a bit bright. I'm going to shift it a bit. Okay, that's a bit better. So we have a plate of tulang here, SUP TULANG Merah, and I ordered 6 bones. Now, it's not cheap, it's $2 per bone. One of these things here, this costs $2 each. So that's $12. A plate of bread like this, see that? That's $2 as well. You know, as I've said this in many other vlogs, the price will change every 2 years, every 3 years or so. What you need when you're eating tulang merah is you need tissue paper and you need wet wipes. I forgot to bring my wet wipes, so never mind, it's okay. I will have to make do with tissue paper. The reason why you need it is because the sauce stains your hands a lot, okay? You'll have this red stain on your hands and you won't be able to remove it for, let's say, about a day or two. First, let's try the bread. Well, local baguette style bread, a bit dry, but that's how it is. Not very impressive. Now for the sauce itself, you take the bread and then you dip into the sauce, like so. That's what you get. Slightly savory, moderately spicy, oil rich, slightly sweet. It is not as sweet as you think. Lots of complex spices inside. It's really this careful balance of a sweet and savory sort of flavor. But the main flavor dominating the sauce is this rich beef marrow flavor, which actually permeates into the sauce itself. And then as you taste the sauce, right, you can taste sort of like ground spices and ground chilies inside. There's a slight tinge of sourness, but it's not a lot. They give you some chopped cabbage, okay, there we go. And it's just raw chopped cabbage, that's it. Raw chopped cabbage. Now the raw cabbage is nice because it adds obviously some vegetable crunch. And it does give a different mouthfeel, you know, to this dish. Otherwise it's just rich, you know what I mean? Now on to the actual tulang itself. It's actually been cooked in this stew for hours and hours and hours. So it should be fantastically soft. Let's try it. My God, so good. Soft beyond belief, amazing. The meat you get on here, plus the gristle and all the gelatinous bits, right? It's so soft, it's amazing. So they give you 2 spoons, but obviously there's no delicate way of actually eating soup tulang merah. So you just use your hands, caveman style. Caveman style. See how easily the meat falls off the bone. It's been stewed very, very well. And all the meat and the connective tissue and all the gristle, right? It's nice, but really the prize is obviously the marrow inside here. You can't really see the marrow, but trust me, there is some inside there and it's wonderful. Now there are 3 ways of actually getting it out. One is to use a straw. You poke it in and then you suck it out. The other one is to actually pound it, and there's a 3rd way, which is actually to use the back of a plastic spoon and then you sort of scrape it out. There we go. The most effective way of actually getting it out is actually the pounding way. I'll show you how you do it. So you hold the tulang like this and then you just pound it. And then you take your spoon and then you make sure that there's nothing left inside. But the idea is that because the tulang has been cooked so well and the marrow is so soft that it will just slide out. So as you can tell, it's a dirty affair and your hands are like... That's why you need lots of tissues. Lots and lots of tissues. The final result is this. That's the marrow. And it is soft and delicious. Now how do you eat the marrow? It's really up to you. You can eat it on its own. You can eat it with the sauce if you want to. There's really marrow inside the sauce. But obviously, you know, if you want more marrow, you can just add it in. But how I like doing it is to add it on the bread. Now this is the main purpose why you eat soup tulang merah. There's this wonderful bone richness inside here. Wow. Oil rich, is super creamy, it's got a mutton flavor, the gelatinous, there's this fat stickiness to it, and then you can obviously supplement the flavor with some more gravy. The gravy obviously has got a lot of red colouring in it. I don't know why they actually put red colouring inside, but anyway, that's what they do. Look at the amount of marrow, look, a whole bunch of marrow in here. Now that is a lot, okay? God. It's like the best version of butter, I tell you. And sometimes if you want, you have the marrow on the bread and then you just add some gravy on top. For even more goodness. Okay, one thing about the stall is that they actually don't get a lot of customers during lunchtime. The crowd tends to go to the Chinese stalls and the other Indian Muslim stalls, because tulang is not an easy dish to eat. I mean, as you can see, you need tissues, it's a messy affair, your hands are going to be red, everybody in the office will know that you have eaten tulang. Which is why it doesn't get ordered very often. Maybe at night you'll see more orders, or maybe over the weekend. The other thing also is that tulang merah is not cheap. One bone like this is $2, so the minimum order is 6, plus bread. That's a total of $14 minimum.
I forgot to add that a possible reason why soup tulang merah is not that popular is because there is this assumption that since bone marrow is 96% fat, it must be high in cholesterol. But actually, it's not the case, as bone marrow is unsaturated fat, so it helps to lower your cholesterol. Mutton bone marrow is actually very nutritious as it contains myeloid and lymphoid stem cells, the precursors of red and white blood cells.
One thing for sure is that you don't bring a date here. There's no delicate way of eating tulang at all. Now the bread, even though it's dry, right, it doesn't really matter once you dip it inside the gravy. See? Wow, look at that. Woo! All done. Woo! Haven't eaten tulang in a while, so I really miss this. So, soup tulang merah, invented by Haji Kadir, Food Chains Private Limited. Is this the best place for it? Frankly, I'm not a connoisseur of soup tulang merah. I tried a few stalls over the years, and I found this one to be the best because it doesn't go overboard in the sweetness, and the gravy is thick, and the meat and the connective tissue, right, it's always soft, and there's always marrow, obviously. So thanks for watching another episode of Gregsby Eats, where I eat through the whole of Singapore. If you like this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And I will see you in the next one. Dirty hands. The result of eating 6 pieces of tulang. 1 whole packet of tissue, all gone. And I got no more bloody tissue left. And dirty hands. Ah!